Well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started.
And I always wish I was
I
in college.
appreciate you being here. Thank you for taking the time to come out tonight. And we want to do these town hall meet and greets all across the district. And during the primary campaign, we did, I don't know how many, I just know we did an awful lot of them. And I think generally speaking, it's the best way to be able to not only speak to constituents, speak to voters, speak to fellow citizens, but also to hear from. So I don't want to do a lot of just straight talking tonight. We want to have opportunity for comment and for question. And if I have an answer, I'll give it to you. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next one. Rachel here is from the Democrat Party and is filming every one of these meetings. And it is a public meeting, so we're not going to kick her out. And you'll see probably some of the results of that filming on YouTube, in ads and commercials attacking me and everything else. And not Rachel doing it. She's just doing her job in filming. It's the campaign managers and others that will do all of that on issues. So I will try to be as clear as possible. But if, for instance, if perchance you see an ad that does not quote me accurately from the night that you heard it said, a letter to editor might be helpful to respond in that way. But sadly, that is what campaigns have come to. Trying to catch somebody in a slip-up or be able to snip, cut, and place comments for campaign purposes. And we live with it. If I didn't like it, if I didn't, not like it, if I didn't want to have it, I just wouldn't run for office. But
You gotta be thick skin.
thick skin, and when they pick on me too much, I run to my wife, Sue, here, and say, Mommy, they're picking on me. And she has it even harder. I can fight back with words. As a candidate, she has to sit there and take it so often. And she knows most of it isn't true about me. Right?
Okay, you say your Social Security wasn't right, that you didn't want to privatize or quit it. What is your view on it?
My view is exactly what I did in Congress, that we ought to make the contract secure. That Social Security, the fund ought to be secure for you, if you're on it, ought to be secure for those of us who have paid into it. Remember, involuntarily. We didn't have a choice. It is a tax. But it ought to be secure, and we ought to get what we are expecting to receive. And it should not be a slush fund for politicians.
Why is it a slush?
Now, let me finish answering your question first. You're jumping quick here. I know you came to get that answer, so let me make sure I give it to you. So you can quote it, and Rachel can record it. I want to secure it, and I introduced legislation that's established a secure system we call a lockbox. Say that that is Social Security Trust Fund, that is the only thing it's to be used for. Nothing else. And then beyond that, down the road, with workers that probably aren't even working yet, we ought to be looking for another mechanism by which we can say, you have a choice. You can contribute like all the rest of us into Social Security, or you can choose a government-approved program that you will have responsibility for yourself. Put your investment in for your future care. It could be a 401k plan, mutual funds, whatever. Government will have to approve it, but it will be your money, and it'll be your responsibility to determine how much goes in, how it's managed, and who manages it. Now that, for most people that look into it, if they had the opportunity, they'd say, I'd take it right now. Because bottom line, over the long haul, especially for young workers, over the long term, you can manage your money far better than government can, and it will be more secure in the long run than what's happening now with Social Security system, which is in deficit already, and will be broke if we don't do something to fix it. Not by 2036. Hang on a second. By don't give her any coffee. Or at least decaf. Right now, unless we do something, your grandkids, my grandkids, some of your great-grandkids will not have anything. and they will be paying into something that is totally broke. Now, the Democrats and the liberals like Mark Schauer love to talk about, Tim Walberg supports privatization. And as I said privatization is a term they like to use as a noose. I'm for giving people the opportunity to handle their money better than the government handles it. But I also have a record of putting through legislation that would make secure the contract that you and I have with Social Security right now. Now that's something that Mark Schauer and other spenders, remember, Mark Schauer went to Congress and he voted for the stimulus bill. Have you been stimulated? Other than your blood pressure?
Not really.
He talked about promising bringing 109,000 jobs to Michigan. Have you seen 109,000 jobs? No. 70,000 jobs net loss because of things like the stimulus and the healthcare takeover and cap and trade tax, which John Dingell said was not a small tax. It's going to be a great big tax. And all the spending in the Pelosi budget that produced trillion-dollar deficits. No wonder we've got IOUs in the Social Security Trust Fund and not actual cash that's backed up. So that's where I stand.